Once upon a time, in a small coastal town called Eldermere, there stood an ancient lighthouse that had been guiding sailors safely home for over a century. The townsfolk often spoke of its mysterious glow that could be seen even on the stormiest nights, but few knew the truth behind the lighthouse's light. One stormy evening, Annie, a curious 12-year-old girl with an adventurous spirit, decided to explore the lighthouse. Her grandmother had told her stories of the lighthouse keeper, a man known as Captain Elijah, who had mysteriously vanished years ago. Legend had it that he still watched over the sea, protecting the town from dangers that lurked in the depths. Annie packed a small backpack with a flashlight, a notebook, and her grandmother's old compass, which always pointed true north. With the wind howling and rain pouring, she made her way to the lighthouse, her heart racing with excitement and a hint of fear. As Annie approached the tall structure, she noticed strange symbols carved into the door. They seemed to glow faintly, much like the lighthouse itself. With a deep breath, she pushed the door open, which creaked eerily as it swung on its rusted hinges. Inside, the air was thick with salt and mystery. Dust motes danced in the thin beam of light that streamed through a cracked window. The spiral staircase that led to the top beckoned her. With each step she took, the air grew warmer and the light brighter. When she reached the lantern room, Annie gasped. There stood Captain Elijah, as vibrant as ever, with eyes that sparkled like the ocean waves. He looked just as her grandmother described, an old man with a long white beard and a sailor's cap, surrounded by an ethereal glow. "Welcome, young one," he boomed, his voice like rolling thunder. "I've been waiting for someone who believes in the magic of the sea and the stories it holds. You've come to help me, haven't you?" Annie was taken aback, but felt an undeniable pull to help. "What do you need?" she asked, her voice steady. Captain Elijah explained that a powerful storm spirit, angered by pollution and neglect of the seas, was preparing to flood Eldermere. He needed Annie's courage and wisdom to calm the spirit and restore balance to the ocean. Together, they crafted a plan. With her grandmother's compass as a guide, Annie learned to navigate the sea's energies. Captain Elijah taught her ancient chants and rituals to honor the spirit and the ocean's creatures. As the storm approached, Annie stood at the edge of the cliff, where the lighthouse shone brightly behind her. With Captain Elijah by her side, she called upon the elements, her voice rising above the crashing waves. Slowly the skies began to clear, and the raging winds subsided. The storm spirit materialized, a swirling figure of dark clouds and furious waves. But instead of fear, Annie spoke with compassion, sharing her love for the ocean and her commitment to protect it. The spirit listened, and gradually the fury subsided, replaced by a gentle rain. The town of Eldermere was saved, and Captain Elijah smiled proudly at Annie, who felt a surge of energy course through her. "You have the heart of a true guardian," he said. "Remember, the ocean's magic lives in you." As dawn broke, Captain Elijah began to fade, but not before leaving Annie with a glowing lantern, a symbol of their bond and her newfound role as the protector of Eldermere. From that day on, Annie dedicated herself to raising awareness about ocean conservation, sharing the tales of Captain Elijah and the magic of the sea. And whenever the lighthouse glimmered in the night, the people of Eldermere knew that their guardian was watching over them, thanks to a brave girl who believed in the power of stories and the sea.